Can you believe it? A video on a Sunday morning. Unbelievable. Anyway, I'm on my way out. And I started getting comments that I'm this and I'm that, pro-foreigner, blah, 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 which I expected. But the reality is that I'm not. The reality is I'm not. What I'm actually trying to do here is to make South Africans start looking at themselves and start understanding how much of the current dilemma that they're in, they've created themselves. But they refuse to do that. They refuse to do that. So the first thing I saw on my feed this morning is now this Zulu guy, I can't pronounce his name, that's leading this whole thing, is now moving the narrative to, once again, the whites, the farms, the this, the that, the rest, which I knew was coming. And you know I knew it was coming because I've said it. It wouldn't be long before they would realize that kicking out all the foreigners is going to be virtually impossible. And because you've allowed 20 million of them into your country, you're not going to kick 20 million people out of here. And so now that we're starting to see that this is going to become an issue and that we're getting backlash from all around the world, and particularly African countries, now we're going to move our focus back to the white guys because they're the smallest minority, and because we need to now shift the attention of the people that we've stirred up away from the protest that we've ignited, realizing that it's something that we're not going to be able to win, and so we have to change the narrative. And, you know, this is what I've always said. So am I pro-foreigner? No. If you're not here legally and you're not here doing legal stated business as per our laws, then you must be deported and come back into the country legally. What I am against, though, is thousands and bands of people running through the streets, pulling people out of shops, beating them in the streets, looting their shops, burning their shops, and the things that we're seeing that are happening as a result of these protests, right? And also, at the end of the day, it would make far more sense to go to these shops and try and legalize these people, because many of them employ thousands, well, together they employ thousands and thousands and thousands of South Africans in these shops. So, you know, this is literally a case of cutting off your nose to spite your face. But as I've also said, you know, that do what you want to do. Tear it down, burn it down, destroy everything in your path. Because ultimately, you know, no one is going to come and rebuild that stuff. No one is going to reopen those shops. You're not. You're absolutely not going to reopen those shops. And at the end of the day, your people are not going to have the shops and the clothing and the goods that were available to you very cheaply through these foreigners that you were buying from, that you were supporting. And you're going to be back in the exact same situation you were before you started all these violent protests and marches. I said to a person this morning on the internet, you know, I don't know in what mindset you think that chaos is going to solve chaos. Chaos isn't going to solve chaos, bro. So, and the second thing I said is that we as private citizens don't have the right to do what these people are doing. It's as simple as that. So, you know, where does that leave us? Well, how long are you going to run in? How long do you think it's going to take before you've destroyed all the shops and there's no more shops? How long do you think it's going to take? What's your timeline for getting rid of all these foreigners? You're telling us the 30th of June. Good luck with that, bro. Good luck with that. It's not going to happen. Even Penwell, the black pen, tells you, you know, you're barking up the wrong tree. And, you know, it's absolutely ridiculous because, you know, during the 1950s and 1960s is when this movement to decolonize Africa began. And South Africa was the last country to be decolonized. And the second South Africa got decolonized, everyone else from all the other decolonized countries that had failed due to decolonization came here. You opened the doors for them. You invited them, actually. Someone reminded me on YouTube. Don't you remember Thabo Mbeki's African Renaissance speech? Don't you remember that? Huh? So I'm not pro-foreigner. I'm absolutely not. I'm pro-South Africa. And I understand the impact of the criminality of certain foreigners in this country. You know? But when you look at the prison system, they're saying something between 15 and 25% of those people are, depending on who you listen to, are foreigners in our prison system. So who are the other 85 to 75%? South Africans. So what are you going to do about our own criminal problem, created by our own criminals, created by our own poor police, created by our own poor government? What are you going to do about that? You know? And that's my argument. So, you know, I'm going to leave it there this morning because I'm going to go out in this freezing cold now and go meet a couple of people. But, you know, no one is complaining that you protest. No one is complaining that you're upset about illegal foreigners in your country. No one is arguing that many of these foreigners are involved in criminality and drug dealing and that. No one is arguing that. But by you doing the exact same thing, involving yourselves in criminal actions, by assaulting and looting and tearing down and burning, really doesn't show that you're any better than those that you're claiming are doing the exact same thing that you are now doing. As I said in my video yesterday, the entire government is almost implicated in the drug dealing with the foreigners, involving our police. What are you going to do about them? What are you going to do about them? I'll tell you. You're going to vote them in again so that you can protest and burn and tear down next week. That's what you're going to do. And as I've also said yesterday and repeated this morning in a response to someone, why don't you consider competing with them in the economy and on the business and in the shops and all of that? They've come from thousands of miles with nothing, no money, no nothing, open shops, pulled their move, done what they're doing. You've been here all the time and nothing. Now you think burning their shit down is going to guarantee you the same as what they had when you're not prepared to do the work. It doesn't work like that, China. So I just wanted to clear that up. And I think, well, depending on how it rolls, probably be my last video on the foreigners, although it doesn't look like people are going to let me rest on this issue. You know what I mean? And ultimately, what you don't understand is that this whole thing has got nothing to do with the foreigners. It's got to do with politics, in order that people can take power or keep power. That's what it is. And you're being manipulated by putting your focus onto these people. That's why this guy's changing his narrative, because he knows once this foreigner thing dies down, no more attention, no more limelight, and no more money, and no more funding. People must wake up, bro. You're all walking around with flipping hoods over your heads.